Welcome to the show. This is an impromptu episode of FireCast. I'm in my wardrobe again, another solo. Because depending on when you're listening to this, either we weren't able to record with a guest as we planned for this week, so you might be listening to this very shortly after I record this, or FriendlyFire has done one instead and we showed that, and then you'll be watching this at some point in the future. What's going on, man? How are you? What's happening? Welcome. This is FireCast episode something. It'd be your shit, man. If you're watching this straight away, it'd be 197. If not, it's 200 and something. But feels good to be back. I got some notes here. It's the ramblings of a madman, handwritten, because all my devices are being used. All right, so whatever, The thing is, though, my handwriting is so poor and childish that I can't even read my own shit sometimes. So we'll see how we go. But welcome. It's 2026, man. It's the year of the fire horse. It's a new year. I'm very excited. There's a lot of new energy, upward momentum. I was hanging for this fire horse. I spoke about it a bit on FireCast, but I was having a rough year, man. I don't know if you guys felt the same, but to me it seemed like everybody was in the same boat. 2025 was kind of rough, it was tough, especially for me. I went through a lot, but I was hanging for this fire horse, man. I was excited, and I feel that surge, I feel that new energy. If you don't know the Chinese zodiac, the fire horse is supposed to be very good for momentum, setting new projects, new goals, achieving your dreams, good luck, good fortune. So and I feel it. It's been a good start to the year. I'm doing well. I'm doing a lot better than I was at the end of last year already. Finally getting that momentum I was looking for. But yeah, man, my family were just out there. We're looking at there's supposed to be some fucking a planet alignment or something. And I always say this, I can't be the only one who thinks this, but is it just me, or every other month, every other week, there's some special moon that we're never going to see for 842 years? Some lunar event, some celestial fucking anomaly that isn't going to occur for 2 centuries. You always see it on Instagram, or you see blood moon that will so rare won't be seen again for 720 years. It's like, mate, wasn't there last week the same moon? And it always looks the same. I ain't seen shit. Alright, I don't know how many of these celestial events I've fucking stayed up for and tried to witness, and it all just looks fucking the same. The moon might be a bit bigger. You know what I mean? But anyway, apparently the planets are aligning or something out there. I couldn't see shit. But yeah, so if you're feeling a bit crazy, if you feel like the crazies are out, maybe that's why. What's the date? It's the 27th, 8th, 29th maybe of February as I'm recording this. Yes, what's going on in my life, man? So the new song is out. We were excited for this one, Gangsta Boo, with Hodds and FriendlyFire from our album, which is just about finished. FriendlyFire was telling me today, he sent me the last couple tracks. It's sounding good. I'm really excited for this one. This is our 4th collaboration project, mine and FriendlyFire's. Now, to a lot of you guys, it might seem like we work together a lot, because we do. But the reason we say this is our 4th collaboration project is because not everything we do is solely between it. We both have our own projects. Friendly Fire's dropping an album every other fucking month, right? But it's not me and him over the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's a lot of his work, and I'll feature on it, but I'm not all over it. It's the same thing with me. Like when I drop Sunday, it's not Friendly Fire's beats the whole way through. You know, I might throw some songs that are made by Friendly Fire on these albums, but it's not entirely Friendly Fire, if you know what I'm saying. So when we say it's a collab project like Ghost or Final Boss, it's every beat on there is by Friendly Fire. The whole thing is mixed, mastered, produced by Friendly Fire. So that's what we mean by collab. So Ghost, Final Boss, Kings, those are our collab projects. That's all Friendly Fire, you know, and he's really the mastermind behind it all. I don't do much, honestly. Like, rappers get all the credit, you know, and everyone wants to be a rapper, but we don't really do shit, man. It's easy. My job's super easy, you know. He sends me this shit, I write a verse, record it within fucking half an hour, send it back, and he does the rest, man. I don't edit nothing, I don't do nothing. So the producers really deserve more credit than they get, I feel like. Again, I apologize, you see me fiddling with the watch and shit. It's just, you know, it's keeping my time and I can see what's going on. But the new song, man, Gangsta Boo, very happy with it. The numbers are crazy, it's doing great. I feel like it's our most, you know, radio commercial song. But that's thanks to Hodds, really. Hodds came up with that whole idea. Again, Friendly Fire, shout out to him, man. He kind of put this together. He sent it to Hodds, the beat. Hodds jumped on it first. He sent back 2 verses, and it had that kind of reggae, you know, fucking flow and vibe to it. And then when I got it back, I was like, fuck, this shit is crazy. So that's why I did the whole reggae thing at the end, and it came together so nicely, man, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with it. You guys seem to enjoy it too, so thank you. That's the last single. Next stop will be the album. So I don't know when it's dropping. I don't know if we don't even have a name or anything like that. But I'm sure it'll come very soon. So we're hoping to drop this sometime March, maybe mid-March, if we're lucky. But yeah, thank you for checking it out. That song's a banger, man. I've had that fucking Hodds, man. Shout out to you, bro. Legend. I was born this way, I probably died this way. Live by the sword, I probably die the same. That shit has been stuck in my head. Yeah, other than that, man, I've just been chilling, gaming a lot. I'm picking back up the gaming. Really for the first time in my life since like the Call of Duty days, or even the Smash Brothers days, right, on my Switch. Playing again on PS5, I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Okay, say what you will about this game, I see a lot of mixed things. It's a bit of a fucking gooner game, I guess you could say, with some of the skins these motherfuckers put in there, which are kind of odd, but it is very fun. Alright, the game is fucking awesome. I don't care, I'm having a blast. Alright, it's I saw the comparisons, okay? I got it mainly because it was free, okay? And I remembered, I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of free shit on the PlayStation. I was having a browse. I had downloaded it a long time ago, played a match, didn't know what the fuck was going on. No idea. I couldn't even comprehend what was happening on my screen. I felt like an old person. There was shit flying everywhere, sounds, fucking... I felt autistic. It was crazy. But then, maybe a couple months back, maybe December, for some reason I picked it back up again, and I actually started to understand what the fuck I was looking at, and it got really fun. All right, like a couple weeks ago I downloaded Overwatch just to kind of compare the two. I hadn't played Overwatch since fucking it first came out, man, like 2016 or whatever. And I downloaded Overwatch. I played a couple matches, and it's like it looks like Chinese shit. Both games are made by Chinese companies, okay? But Overwatch looks like, I don't know, man. That shit don't look right. It looks like fucking, you know those mobile ads you see, the fucking the dodgy games you see pop up. That's what that shit looks like, bro. The textures are weird. The characters, I swear it's not how I remember it. I remember Overwatch back in the day was kind of cool, but this shit, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Both games blatantly rip off each other. Rivals is obviously a blatant copy of Overwatch, but now Overwatch, with the success of Rivals, have been copying character designs and design philosophy and shit. But in my opinion, I prefer Rivals, okay? Rivals is obviously third person, Overwatch is first person. And Rivals is a bit better if you suck at aiming, which I do. I'm a bad gamer, I'm a casual gamer, alright? I'm not afraid to admit it, I suck. But Rivals, I'm pretty good, man. I'm getting there. I'm a Vanguard. I've always leaned towards the tanks in these kinds of games, and this is no different, man. I'm a good Hulk. Hulk's probably my best character, man. A bit of Hulk, a bit of Thing, Magneto. You know, it's a good game. But in other gaming news, as of today, they dropped a trailer for Pokemon. The new Pokemon games, Generation 10, Wind and Waves, are real things. They got leaked a little while ago, and you know, I remember last Phil, I was talking about how dog shit the Pokemon the quality of the Pokemon games are, but this actually looked cool. I was pleasantly surprised, man. I was watching this trailer, and obviously with Pokemon you have to keep an open mind, because man, these games can look rough, especially in the trailers, but it looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it looked good. The graphics are crazy on the water, which is impressive for Nintendo. They're about 12 years behind Sony and PlayStation, but you know, it's finally getting there. The water looked great. They showed the starters, the new Pokemon. It was very cool, man. So I'm optimistic. I thought they would do Australia. You know, they would base the region on Australia. I thought surely, but no, it's Southeast Asia apparently, which looks a lot the same as a lot of the other shit they've done already. So I don't know, Australia I feel like writes itself. I feel like they will do it one day if Pokemon really does continue at this pace that they've been doing, which I find hard to envision. I guess these things are hard for me to imagine, man. Like, are we really gonna be 50 years old and they're gonna be up to Pokemon generation fucking 26? You know what I mean? Is it really just gonna keep going and they're just gonna keep having new Pokemon? Pokemon's already... every Pokemon, there's over 1,000. There's over 1,000 different Pokemon. And now with this new game, that's gonna push it like to 1,200 maybe. So is that really just gonna keep going? We're gonna be 46 years old and there's gonna be 2,700 Pokemon? That's just weird, you know? Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around. But when you're the biggest money-making franchise in the world, you probably will keep it going. So if it really does continue at this pace, which is about a new generation, so like a new mainline game with new Pokemon in a new region, they do that about every 3 to 4 years. So I feel like if they keep doing this, Australia will be done. They will have to do Australia. It's you know, it writes itself. But yes, not this time, but we'll see, man. I like it. It looks good. So yeah, we'll keep an open mind, see what happens. Obviously, I'm prepared for severe disappointment, because Nintendo and Pokemon, goddamn, do they make shit games sometimes, alright? They have so much potential. Nintendo is like the definition of unrealized potential. They have so many good characters, so many good ideas, and they drop the ball almost every time. Almost every single fucking time. So, You know, I get it. It is more kid-friendly stuff. I get it. Okay. But man, come on. There's adults are the ones buying the shit, and there's a big market for the, you know, people like Zelda. Zelda does a good job at being a bit more adult focused. Like they can just, you know, pick it up a little bit. You're printing money. You're the biggest company in the world. You know, so hopefully these new games will be a bit better, but we'll see. Anyway, what else is going on in my life, man? I started a new job, you might have heard, on FireCast. It's good, man. It's crazy because I did mention this on the show, but as the year ticked over to the Fire Horse, so part of my struggles last year was work related. Okay, I was struggling with working, finding a stable job, getting myself, you know, in a comfortable position. And I was telling my partner, and I was saying to myself, like, all right, once this Fire Horse kicks off, things are gonna, you know, gonna hit the ground running. Like, everything kind of felt like it was coming to a head. Shit was popping off. It was just getting worse and worse. Bills, finances, jobs, drama, right up until the end. Like the last 2-3 weeks of the year were like, fuck, this is fucking intense, man. Comical almost, you know, like those ones you just gotta sit back and laugh. That's what was happening towards the end of the last Chinese year. And then I was telling my missus, I'm like, man, once this Fire Horse, as soon as it starts, I feel it. It's gonna, everything's coming to a head. It's like the pinnacle of the bad shit from the previous year, just coming to a head. And literally, I had lined up, not on purpose, obviously, I wanted to work and find a new job ASAP. So I was accepting everything, tons of interviews, tons of jobs. And then this job I'm at currently that I'm very happy with, it lined up perfectly where I did like the induction on the Friday, which was the last Chinese year, the wood snake. And then it was Saturday, Sunday, and I had started, I had to do a drug test and shit on a Monday, and then Tuesday was the start of the new Chinese Fire Horse, and Tuesday was the day I started the new job. How crazy is that? You literally can't make this shit up, man. Everything was lining up perfectly. And yeah, it kind of just all fell into place since then, and so far so good, right? It's only, what, 2 weeks in to this new year, and you know, I'm feeling good. I'm happy. I like my job, you know, but it's good, man. It's a lot of labor focus, which is what I wanted, but it's early start, early finish. It's great. You know, I work with this dude, great team too, fucking awesome team, great people. And I work with this motherfucker. He told me the other day, just this week, he's like, somehow FriendlyFire came up for some reason, and I mentioned what we do. You were talking about brothers. I just said, you know, my brother, yeah, he DJs and shit. And this guy goes, well, my brother's in jail. I go, what? What for? And he said, for being a Nazi. I was like, what? I thought he was fucking with me. I was like, you're joking, right? He's like, no, I'm fucking dead serious. His brother, turns out, is friends with those, you know, one of his best mates is the crazy guy. What's his name? I'm blanking. The neo-Nazi guy who's in jail, right? His best mate is this guy's brother, who's also a crazy cunt and like a politician who's, you know, and he was telling me like his whole family like has been estranged with him or whatever. I was like, God damn. I was like, has he tried to recruit you? He's like, yeah, you know. He just says all this crazy shit. He didn't see him often or whatever, but I was like, fuck. You know, these people are real. It was really out there. And he also said that his brother's been in trouble before, you know, with drugs and gone to jail for drugs and shit. So it goes to show that, you know, these guys are really crazy. You know, they're not just someone with eccentric ideas and they have a, you know, they're making a point. These motherfuckers are crazy. Alright? So, anyway, I just thought that was fucking insane. But, you know, it goes to show that these people are out there. So, you know, I thought maybe we can, get an interview with one of these cunts. Imagine that. Interviewing one of these, the amount of backlash we would get. It would not be worth it. I think it would make us famous, but probably not a good idea, right? In my opinion, I think it's more so on the listener. When people always get backlash for interviewing these people and people get upset, why are you giving them a platform? Which I get too. I see both sides. You have to kind of toe the line between free speech and giving crazy people a platform, because I get it. I do get it. So yeah, probably not a good idea to interview neo-Nazis. Even I don't know, people have done it before, and it's always the same story, like Alex Jones and shit. You get these people crazy ideas on. Alex Jones has been in a lot of strife for similar things, and people talking to certain people or whatever. But yeah, in an ideal world, the listener would be able to decipher what's fucking insanity and what's legitimate idea and discussion. But we don't live in that world, unfortunately, so I get it. Okay, so don't expect any neo-Nazis on FireCast anytime soon. Yeah, man, it's been a ride. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for tuning in all the time. We're really grinding. Okay, we put in the work. It's fun. It's what we like to do. A lot of people might wonder why we continue to do what we do. At the pace that we do it, it's hard. It's demanding. But for us, as long as someone is listening and getting enjoyment out of this shit, we're going to keep doing it, right? It's not about numbers. It's not about popularity or money or fame or any of that shit. I would be happy at this level, forever. Obviously, the problem is it's unrealistic, okay? Because we have lives, we have jobs. It's already so hard and so demanding, especially when you have a family and you have shit to do, and then you also have to make a fucking TikTok clip every day. You have to post every day. I have to edit a clip every single day, and most of these clips get under 200 views on TikTok. They just sit there stagnant. Half of them get deleted, half of them get blocked. TikTok censors half of them. It is demanding, and it can be a bit of a kick in the gut sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's what I love to do. And I know FriendlyFire's the same. I know Joey's the same. It's what we love to do. We love to entertain. We're built for it. You guys seem to enjoy it. As long as we keep getting messages and positivity and showing love, it really makes it worth it. So we're super grateful. We're super happy with where we're at. We have a lot of ideas and a lot of plans, as I'm sure you've heard. You've heard it all before. We're constantly trying to improve. We're constantly coming up with new ideas. Half of them sit on the shelf for 3 years before they see the light of day. But we do usually do it, okay? We still haven't got animals on for a FireCast special, which we've been saying since episode fucking 80 or something, that we're gonna get animals on, but I'm sure we will. All right, it'll happen. So yeah, we'll keep doing it as long as you guys like it. I hope you like these filler episodes as well. I know it's a bit different and some people might not enjoy it, and that's fine. All right, we don't get offended if you skip it. It's just the thing in this modern age that a lot of people don't understand is consistency, and the importance of consistency and what you have to do to make something of yourself. It's a grind, and it's always going to be a grind. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to put in the hours. You're going to have to struggle. And you're going to have to post on TikTok every day. You're going to have to record a song every week. You're going to have to release content and videos and ideas every day. Okay? A lot of people say, you see these streamers and shit who complain about how hard it is and stuff, and people get upset, and I get it. It is, like, would you rather do what I'm doing, a fucking normal 9 to 5, shoveling shit for 8 hours a day in the blistering heat, or sit in front of your computer talking shit, you know, earning millions of dollars, right? And then people see streamers complain about it, you know, and get upset. Because it's true, right? It's an easy job comparatively, right? You're not, where the difficulty comes from that these people, streamers, talk about is the consistency, right? Because if you stop posting, you lose momentum. You lose where you're at. It's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, right? It's, well, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, I should say. It's you need to be consistent, okay? It's like, you can only get so far posting every other day. It's like dropping music. We've mentioned it before. You can only get so far uploading a song once a month. You need both consistency and quality. A lot of people lack one or the other, right? They might be the best spitters, the best musicians, but they're uploading a song once every 6 months. And I'm sorry, in an ideal world, talent would get you where you need to be, right? But it doesn't, okay? A lot of the time, just having consistency over talent is more effective, right? So you have to strike that balance. You have to be good at what you do, but you also have to be able to produce it at a rapid pace, because in this fast-moving world, people forget about you, right? You drop something, and it's gone, right? It's like trends, all kinds of shit, you know, comes and goes. I can't even think of the latest trend, you know, shit comes and goes. It's blink of an eye. So, you know, striking that balance is something I feel like we're good at. We're really good at our music. We're really good at the podcasting shit. And we do it often. You know, the hardest part for us, I think, is advertising, marketing. But really, word of mouth, the most solid marketing you'll ever get. The most solid cosign is word of mouth. When some motherfucker says to you, hey, check this out, I found these guys, you know, from our area, they show them and they fuck with it, that's a lifelong. The amount of messages I get from people who stick around, it's always someone who's introduced them organically. It's always someone who knows them, and then, you know, they'll jump on board, and then they send us messages and they're like, hey, so and so told us about you, whatever, I checked out your music, it's fucking dope, shit like that, man. And that's the shit I fucking live for. I love that shit. So if you're listening to us and you enjoy the show and you know someone who might get a kick out of it, that's where we, you know, that's where we thrive, right? Send them it, you know, show the love. We appreciate it. We love you guys, and we appreciate all the messages, everything we get. So I did write, this was very last minute, like I said, okay, this is an emergency pod, so I apologize for the, you know, haphazardness and the, you know, the frantic nature of it all. But I did have some news points. Now I was saving these for an actual episode with Joey and FriendlyFire, but given that so much news has occurred, and that I'm sure when we do record, these two will have a shitload, and I'm sure we'll touch on this stuff again, I just wanted to mention a few things, and I won't harp on it again if we do speak about it in FireCast. So what I say here will be an exclusive into my mind, alright? My useless thoughts on useless things. But something I'm deeply upset about, and that I'm sure the other two won't care about as much anyway, is this NASA mission, man. NASA had been talking about for a few years now the Artemis mission, right? They were gonna go back to the moon next year, 2027. We were gonna put boots on the ground on the moon for the first time since 1970 whatever, right? That's crazy. And you can even go back on FireCast and see me talking about this. I was excited, man. But I saw today it's cancelled. Supposedly, right? They're cancelling the moon mission. Apparently because, I don't know, logistics, they're changing it from touching down to just orbiting the moon, right? And we're doing that again this month or next month, this year. They're flying around the moon. It's going to be the furthest any human has ever been into space, right? When they pass through the outer side of the moon, that's going to be the furthest any living human has ever been in space. And they're doing that this month or next month or something. And then next year was when they were going to touch down, right? Now, I only briefly saw this and I'm not sure the specifics. I don't know why they've cancelled it. I don't know what the problem is. But they're changing it from touching down to just orbiting again. Kind of weird, right? Kind of sus. Like, people saying, but somehow we went there in 1969. It's 2026 and it's still so hard. We still can't get it right. So how the fuck could we have possibly gone in 1969? Which I kind of agree with. I don't know how I feel about the moon landing. I don't know where I stand. I don't know if it's fake, because I see a lot of evidence for both sides. I'm a big fan of space. I'm a big fan of NASA. I like to believe what we're told and shown is real. My logical brain says so, but then also you look at the evidence of the moon landing being fake and it's compelling. It's crazy shit. It's like, that stuff don't look real, man. There's a lot of hiccups, there's a lot of mistakes, there's a lot of weird shit with the moon landing that is, you know, you look at it all and you're like, okay, they faked this shit. But then, yeah, I don't know. Does them faking it necessarily mean they didn't go? Or they weren't capable of proving that they went, so they faked the proof, but they really did it. But they just faked the footage and the recording of it all, you know? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if they would have done that. I don't know what the benefit... I mean, again, right? Putting aside belief that everything is a sham, everything is a stage, and everything's planned by shape-shifting reptilians, if we're to believe the situation at the time, it was Cold War shit, right? And NASA, America, were racing with the Soviet Union to get to space. Why would the Soviet Union, if that were the case, right, and they're not actually in cahoots behind closed doors, why would Russia accept that defeat if it didn't really happen? You know what I mean? But that's just another hurdle in a very deep rabbit hole, because it could be there's a million ways to look at it. You can look at it as if the Cold War shit is real, you know, or if they're not reptilian shapeshifters and they actually were beefing, but then maybe the beef is fake, and then maybe they work together to fake the moon landing because the beef is fake, and it's all fucked, right? But you can then look at The Shining and you see all the evidence, and people point to Stanley Kubrick being the one who faked the moon landing, and I don't know, man. It's a very deep rabbit hole, and it's one that I don't know what I believe, because there were multiple missions to the moon. Obviously everyone thinks of, you know, 1969, the first one, but they went back a couple times, right? And like most people, I'm not too versed in how those went or the footage from those, but there's weird shit with those too. There was the one from Apollo 14 or something, that Apollo 12, these dudes, there's recordings of the astronauts from the mission saying they crashed a lander into the moon and it was hollow and it reverberated like a bell for hours. That's, you know, that's real. It's like the Epstein files, man. This shit's there, you can look at it, and no one fucking says anything. You know, it's like the biggest gaslighting on earth. It's right there, you can look at it. Anyone can look at it. You know, I seen today Hillary Clinton was testifying about the Epstein files, you know, saying she never knew him and shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on, dude? That was a presidential candidate, the wife of fucking a former president, talking about this shit. And it's just so strange. It's also bizarre. We live in the craziest time. This shit would have never happened 10 years ago, man. Really, I feel like at some point we've crossed timelines, we've jumped to something else, because this shit is fucking crazy, you know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. I'm just trying to focus on myself. But am I real? Is any of this real? Is it worth it? I don't know. But speaking of this shit, you might have seen the Jim Carrey news recently, depending on when you're watching this. But I've also seen clips of Jim Carrey giving a press interview at some event, and it just doesn't look like him. He's saying things weird. He's the type of dude who, you know, wasn't into the Hollywood glamour or Hollywood life, and he supposedly retired from acting a couple times and said he was, you know, focusing on being spiritual and all that shit. But then again, he's at some press event and he's giving a fucking, he looks weird, he's all fruity, he looks like he's had a fucking 10 facelifts and shit, talking about that he was learning French and how amazing the event is and all the people, and it's not even the same fucking guy. He's got different colored eyes and shit. And again, it's like the Epstein files, right? You can look at this shit. It's like I was saying in the last filler, with Joe Biden's earlobes and shit were detached. Like, you can look at this shit and it's there. But what do we do about it? I don't know. Do you think they're cloning people? Some people, I don't know. Okay, that's another thing. Like, fuck. It's so difficult to even give an opinion on this shit, because it's just so fucking, you can't even begin to wrap your head around what the fuck is really going on. If they were cloning Dolly the sheep in the 90s, or whenever the fuck it was, what do you think they're doing now? You know? So, is it a clone? My partner was saying it could be like those hyper-realistic masks, but then you'd think they'd make it perfect before they brought him out to these fucking events, right? Because that's clearly not this. He's got different fucking eyes. Can't you give him contacts? You know what I mean? You'd think they'd look and go, yeah, this guy has fucking green eyes, so we better give him green eyes instead of sending a fucking clone out there with blue eyes. You know what I mean? It's just fucking stupid. And that makes you think, are these conspiracies real? Because would they really be that stupid? Or are they so confident in what they have and they're so brazen with it because they know no one's going to fucking do anything, right? So they're half-arsing it. I don't know, right? What else is going on? The other thing, which is quite upsetting to me, is this Bashar guy. You might have heard me mention this guy before. I hate this guy. I don't know why. He's alright. Everything he says is knowledgeable. Okay, he knows shit, right? He says he's this guy. You might have seen him before. He does this shit and he talks like this and he pretends he's fucking channeling a interdimensional being who's fucking speaking through him, right? He's a fucking knobhead. But he says real shit, right? And all these dumbasses line up, they buy tickets to his events and for wisdom or something, and you know, he says knowledgeable stuff, he says real spiritual shit, but the whole charade and the act just fucking rubs me the wrong way, man. This fucking bold guy. But he said ages ago, right, before the American election was going on, people were asking him, he's supposed to know the future, he knows everything, right? He's a fucking interdimensional being. They're asking him who's gonna win and shit, and he said, well, the woman would bring first contact and the man would bring World War III, and because the entity's not allowed to engage in mortal politics, right, for some reason. But that's what he says. But he gave a loose idea of what both options would entail. And he might be right, man. This guy might be right. The way things are going, I'm seeing all this news. Pakistan and Afghanistan are going to war. They've just declared war on each other. And then Trump's about to bomb Iran again, go to war with Iran because of their nuclear talks and shit. And it's like, if that, just considering everything else that's been happening lately too, those conflicts in the Middle East could, that's a world war brewing. But how many times have we said this type of shit, right? And nothing happens. But nothing's going to keep happening until it does, right? It's always going to be nothing happening until something happens. So, look, I hope it doesn't happen for the sake of this motherfucker not being right, just because I've shit on this guy my whole life. I always say to Rose, I'm like, this guy's a fucking wanker, this idiot. But he's, he says real shit. So it's like, is he really channeling a fucking ancient being? I don't know. Fuck. Who knows what's possible these days? But yeah, if this world war happens, I'll be quite upset that this guy's right. Not about the war. Fuck that. Who cares? Right? But I just don't want him to be right. Yeah, this will be telling though, because given everything he's ever said, this will be one thing to definitively prove whether he's full of shit or not, right? Because he said if the woman wins, referring to Kamala Harris, there'd be first contact, meaning aliens or whatever, right? We humans would talk to aliens, and then if the man wins, meaning Trump, the world war. And then the Simpsons predictions, I've spoke about it a million times, the Simpsons episode where Trump is the president, that's how it ends, so if these people are reptilian shapeshifters, they're just telling us what's going to happen. So, fuck it, put your seatbelts on, because who knows, this could go up, down, sideways. All you have to do is focus on yourself. The best way to change the world is to change yourself. Be the change you want to see in the world. Don't worry about this shit. Just focus on, we're all going to roll out of bed. Doesn't matter if the fucking Parliament House is on fire. We're still going to roll out of bed and go to work and shovel shit every day. So if you're going to do that, ask yourself, am I still going to go to work tomorrow if I don't go to this Palestine protest? If people don't fucking, stand up against Israel, if people don't fucking yada yada, if I don't wave this trans flag and change my profile picture on Facebook, am I still going to get out of bed and go to work the next day? If the answer is yes, then shut the fuck up. Just do you, focus on your life, try to be a good person, and hopefully good things will happen. Now, that's it, man. Like, for the news and shit, there's nothing we can do. My opinion on any of this shit doesn't matter. Nothing. We're floating in an endless abyss. I say this stuff because I find it interesting, and I hope some of you do too. I hope some people find value in some of the things I say. But yeah, I'm just, finding my feet. Okay, I go through phases, I go through stages. I'm like a child, Sometimes I'll be really into this, and I'm really into the gym, and I'm really fucking good, and I'm working out, and I'm trying to eat, and then the next day I'm fucking, doing fuck all, and I'm sitting around and shit, and I say I use my phone too much, I try to be off my phone, and I need my phone, and then like the fucking, sometimes I'm trying to be spiritual, and sometimes I don't give a fuck, and that's the problem, alright? And I'm sure most of us are in the same boat. The only difference is I film it. So I apologize for my rambling. But I did say, give me some questions on my Instagram, and actually got a few this time, surprisingly, so thank you. It was a bit last minute. First question. Pierce says, what's life like with a 12-incher? Tell me the pros and cons. Now, when you find the answer to that question, my friend, let me know, because I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. FriendlyFire says, anything other than music you see yourself getting into in the future? I don't even see myself getting into music in the future. I don't see myself getting into anything anymore. But like I said, I go through phases, so this might change. But at the moment, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be. I don't know what I see myself. I really just want to be a good father and a good family man, and I want to do normie shit right now. Right now I'm in a mood where I want to do normie shit, okay? I want to save. I want to go on a holiday. I want to get a house, you know, maybe not buy a house, but I want a house, a new place to decorate, do shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do. And given the year I've just had, and I feel like I'm finally coming out of that, I feel like I'm finally in a position where I can sort of begin to build up this shit again, right? Like starting from scratch, blank canvas. And I love music, I love the podcast, I love what I do every day, but where do I see myself with it? I don't know. I'm going to keep doing it, you know, I like what I'm doing, it's fun, but am I banking on it being a career? Not as much as I used to. No way. I used to fucking be all in. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. But it's so fucking hard. It's fucking impossible, alright? Marketing is crazy. And then you see shit that is popular, shit that people do like, and it's fucking awful. And it just kinda, you know, dampens your spirits. You know, it's luck of the draw, I think. Whatever, if it pops, it pops. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And we can't control that, so we're going to keep doing it. I'm sure FriendlyFire feels the same. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to stop. But yeah, I don't know what I see myself getting into, man. I like, yeah, it's really, rapping's the only thing I'm good at, honestly, but we'll see. You never know, you know, see where the wind takes us. Next one. After the joint album, what direction you want to take music? After this album, I think I want to do Sunday 3 at some point, so I might just start dropping singles. Like I got a cool one with Holloway finished that needs to be finalized, but the verses are done, which might be the first single for the next Sunday. I've said this before, but my whole Sunday series is really a blatant copy of Chris Webby. I'm the Marvel rivals to his Overwatch. I page for page, man, he nailed it. I think it's such a cool fucking idea. He's done like a 10-year span of this Wednesday album series he was doing. So he'd do that same thing, right? He'd drop a bunch of singles, nearly every single off the album he would drop beforehand. And then the album would drop with like 6 exclusives or something. And there'd be like 20-25 track bangers, and it's all shit that's been released, but you re-release it and it gets new listeners. The algorithm likes it. It's so clever. And the thing he did with the cover arts, it's all like, you know, uniform with a colored background, and I love it, man. That shit was so cool to me. So I want to do that. I don't know how long. I don't have like a 10-year fucking vision like J. Cole or something. I'm going to keep doing it until I run out of ideas, I guess. But I don't want to stop it at 2. So I did Sunday, I did second Sunday. Definitely want to do a third. So maybe that's where I'm going to take the music. If me and my homies were hiding from a saber tooth, what is the easiest way not to laugh? He's saying this because he sent me this fucking stupid photo of the caveman, the meme. I can't even I'm not gonna explain the meme, but you might have seen it. I thought it was hilarious. So the best way to not laugh if you're hiding from a saber tooth, would be don't look at your homie. Definitely don't look at your homie. Close your eyes, I suppose. Hold your breath. This is the last question. Okay, how long we've been going for? 51 minutes. Jezza, shout out to you, bro. It's been a minute. Hope you're well. Jezza says, how do you personally measure success? Now, this is a good question to close us out on. How do you personally measure success? This is another question where, as time progresses, your answer could change. Success to me isn't really something I've ever measured. I've never had like a I'm successful, I'm unsuccessful. It's always just been go, just do. You know, I've never thought, once I get this, I'll be successful. Once I get this, I'll be successful. Because in my heart, I kind of know that everything normalizes. It's never going to be, you're never going to get to a point where you go, okay, you know what? That's enough. I've done enough. I'm content. I'm just going to pack it up, send the boys home. We're done. We made it. It's never going to happen, especially when you have a drive like myself or FriendlyFire, or I know Jezza, you as well, man, with all your ideas. It's like you're never going to get to a point where you're satisfied. You're just going to want to do more stuff. If you finish one thing, you're going to come up with another thing. Even if you are satisfied, I might make the best album I've ever made. And then am I going to say, yep, that's it? No. You know, I'm going to have another idea. I'm going to maybe want to make a short film. I'm going to maybe want to do something, because these creative minds don't turn off. I'm going to be thinking of shit till I'm fucking 85 years old, you know. I'm going to be constantly coming up with new ways to create, whether it's, you know, art or music or whatever. I'm going to want to be doing something. So how can I measure success, right? I think I'm successful now, you know, and you can never really judge someone's success from the outside, right? Because every person is different and everyone's living a different life, and what they measure as success, what you value and find important, might not mean anything to someone else. You know, there's a lot of people who probably work in my industry that couldn't care less about music, couldn't care less about celebrities, couldn't care less about news. They're happy going to work, and maybe that person's just bought a house and that's successful to them. You know, I'm someone who personally never cared about buying a house. I'll be happy renting my whole life, right? So would I measure buying a house as my success? No, but it might be his success, you know. How do I personally measure it is, it's a hard question, because I don't know. I'm successful now in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things I want to achieve and I want to do, but I don't know how to measure it, right? I try to be a good father. I try to be a good partner. I try to be sensible. I try to be thoughtful and happy. You know, and that's successful to me. In music wise, if you're talking about how do I measure success career wise and music wise and whatever, I think just having an output is my success. Being able to, sometimes I go back and I listen to my shit and I look at my catalog and what I've achieved in music, and it's pretty fucking impressive, man. I'm very proud of where we are and what we've done. To have a song with The Game, to have a song with Ritz, Chris Calico, to have a song with Horseshoe Gang, these guys I've looked up to, you know, and to have them on my albums and my songs, and that shit's there forever. I have a song with Wombat. That shit is crazy, right? And in terms of money or fame or opportunity, it didn't do much for me, right? Any of those collabs. But on a personal level, when I look back and I listen, I get that feeling. It's like, fuck yeah, you know, we did that shit, and I'm very grateful. So to me, that's success. Just being there, showing up, having that output, is success, right? And I guess that's how I measure it. Just by being there, showing up. The day I stop showing up, the day I give up and it's not on my terms, the day I fall down and I don't get back up, that's when I'll stop being successful. So the best measurement of success is when you stop. You're successful until you stop just getting up out of bed and putting on your fucking brave face, putting on your big boy pants and trudging through the shit is success. Alright, every day you're still alive, still breathing is an achievement. Okay, so that's how I measure success. But yeah, thank you for the questions, man. I think we can leave it there. 56 minutes. It's been a bit of a high octane episode. I apologize, a bit all over the place, a bit frazzled, but I hope you got something of value out of this. If not, then go fuck yourself. Fuck it, who cares? Maybe you skip this, maybe you don't. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Stay tuned, we will be back to normal ASAP. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're having a good start to the Fire Horse year. Keep up that energy, keep up that positivity. Check out the music, all that shit, and stay tuned.